We're live. Okay, so refresh the page here. All right. Exit that. All right, we're live, and let me just say hey to everyone. Hey everyone, this is Darian Hill, and get ready. We're about to start our interview in about 1 minute. We're just giving everyone a chance to come on board. This is going to be an exciting interview. I am truly excited. You're in for a wonderful treat. I have Dr. Ancona here with me, and so sit tight. We just have 1 more minute to get started. So just want to confirm that our audio is working, and we're going to get going right away. All right. Okay, so let me see on the whole side here. All right, it's loading up. Okay, let me just confirm that we are good on the outside. Okay. Beautiful. All right, if you're here live with us, be sure to look below this video. You'll have the opportunity to make a comment, ask any questions as we go live. So we're giving it about 30 more seconds, guys, as everyone is coming on board, getting ready for this great interview that I have here for you guys on some tips that's going to help your child improve their school grades. So I have a great teacher, mentor with me today, Mr. Ancona. So just give us 30 more seconds as we come on board and get ready for this action-packed interview. All right. So we'll give them about 30 more seconds here, and we'll get started. All right. Hey everyone, this is Darian Hill. Welcome to tonight's interview. For those of you who are here, welcome. You're in for a treat. And I have with me Dr. Ancona, Peter Ancona, from the Tutoring Center of Oviedo. And we're here to talk about, that was just a...
Whoa, did you see that?
Yeah.
Wow.
You guys saw that? I hope we didn't lose internet. This is going to be informal, guys. I mean, you're tuning into our office here live. So it's a live hangout. So we're going to laugh. We're going to have fun. Ask any questions that you need. We're here to serve and help you. But tonight, we're going to talk about the 7 secrets to help improving your child's test scores, improving the overall grades, and also help to end the frustration with homework. As a parent myself, I know that homework is a big frustration. I have 2 boys, and I can't tell you how challenging it can be at times to go through homework in today's environment. So I'm glad to have Dr. Ancona with me today. So I'm going to have him introduce himself and tell us about your company and what you guys do here at the center.
Hey, it's good to see you, Darren.
Absolutely.
Well, the Tutoring Center started off about 20 years ago. My affiliation came in about 3.5 years ago.
Okay.
Essentially, I was a high school teacher. Believe it or not, way back in the day, taught high school, 9th grade for a number of years, and I loved it. I loved the kids. And kind of made the transition into the pharmacist world, actually a big transition into the sciences. And so then when your kids are born and things change, certainly it did for us, I kind of wanted to merge my careers between my science career and my education career and help out kids.
See.
And so that's when I found out about the Tutoring Center's research-driven approach to tutoring.
I got you. So tell us a little bit more about the special way in which you guys help students and parents here at the center.
This is a research-based approach. So
Okay.
we focus in on kids. We started off actually with ADHD children.
I see.
Okay, that was our big thing we started with, was 20 years ago. We wanted to know what could keep the attention of an ADHD child for longer and longer periods of time. So we started off with that group of kids. And what we found is that if we had a rotation in place, and what we call in our patent the rotational approach to learning, and we use one-to-one tutoring, then we can help increase the kids' attention and concentration for longer periods of time, and consequently help them with their academics. And so that's what the tutoring center is known for, is really our rotational approach to learning.
Rotational approach. So you talk about ADHD, and I know there's a lot of people who maybe have kids that have this disorder, if you want, learning disability, if you want to call it so. And talk to me about the process a little bit more of how that came to be in terms of your centers, way in which they do your facilitate your process.
Sure. We started off saying, okay, let's see if we can take some kids in a room.
Sure.
And ADHD at first, and see what keeps their attention. And what we found is that when they rotate and they physically move from one little geography to another little geography, and you engage them in individual instruction, and you have great tutors, of course, and an outstanding center director, I might add.
You're so humble.
When you do those things, what ends up happening is you keep their attention for longer periods of time. And so with that, when you look at that, you say, you don't necessarily have to have an ADHD child. You can have kids who have all kinds of, maybe not even difficulties, who just need help, one-to-one help.
Sure.
And so we expanded it from ADHD children to really include all kids.
Okay. And one of the things I really love about your facility, I've kind of watched you in the way you interact with kids, is that you really have a passion for helping the kids, and you have this way of dealing with them. And I can really appreciate it. I know a lot of parents are concerned about centers and a real passion and a real investment of personal development, and I see that with your interaction with your kids. Is that something that was always there, the passion to help kids?
It's always been, the passion's always been there. I've always been a passionate kind of person. But then when I bring in new people, I'm looking for the same qualities. I'm looking for passionate tutors as well. So we do have a lot of energy here.
Good.
We like to have fun, but at the end of the day, we're here to help the kids.
Awesome. Well, listen, we're here today to learn Dr. Ancona's secrets. We want to know how to really empower and inspire our kids to get to their highest potential. And so I'm excited. Are you guys excited? I am absolutely excited about what Dr. Ancona is going to share. So why don't you tell us the first secret in helping us, in terms of helping our kids improve their school grades, their test scores, and ending that frustration?
Yeah. Well, let's preface the secrets for a moment with, if your child
So what about some of the sugars? I mean, does the sugar affect some at all?
Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Or lack of not even eating anything for breakfast, and so that is a big thing we see a lot. The kids skip breakfast, and then I have to go into my pharmacist mode and go, wait a minute, guys, there's something called blood sugar. We all need it. Our brains require blood sugar called glucose. Okay. And when we skip that morning breakfast, we can't think as well as we normally would.
Okay.
So we want to have a little bit of fruit in the morning, a little bit of grain.
Give us 1 second here. I think we have lost our feed a little bit here. So we're going to go ahead and just pause for a second, guys, and check our connection. And give us 1 second as we, reboot. And I'll be back with you in 1 second. We're back up? Okay. All right. We're back up. Thank you, guys.
All right. I worked out good.
But like I said, we're working with technology here. We have lightning and thunder going on here tonight. So bear with us, guys, as we go through this process. We're here talking with Dr. Ancona. If you've just tuned in live on the 7 secrets to help improving your child with their test scores, improving their overall school grades, and then ending the dreaded homework frustration.
Absolutely. So and let's talk about the homework. Yeah, that's a good lead-in.
Okay.
The next one is all about homework specifically, and what we're finding is and so the secret is we must limit kids what I call screen time.
Oh, that sounds like a big one.
Yes. Monday through Thursday, right. Screen time, we've got to limit. In the era of Common Core and a lot of homework that the kids are taking home, having kids do 2 and 3 and 4 hours of what I call screen time on those nights is probably not a good idea. Again, if your child is not doing well in school. We actually recommend 30 minutes maximum. Now, what do we mean by screen time? The Xbox, the iPhones, the text messaging, the games, the Game Boys, all of those things are really, really addictive to our kids. And so we're finding actually about 30% of gamers, okay, spend less time reading, okay?
Interesting.
Their gamers spend 30% less time reading and 34% less time doing homework compared to non-gamers. Okay, so you have a significant difference between a gamer and a non-gamer. Okay. And generally, though, it's also related to boys. Okay, boys are going to be predominantly the ones that are in this field, not as much with girls.
I see.
Okay, and so the kids are given a lot of homework nowadays. And Monday through Thursday, if they're doing a lot of gaming, I guarantee you homework is not getting done as well as it should be.
One of the things, interesting you mentioned that, because one of the things, my wife and I, we have a practice of saying to our boys, listen, there's no gaming during the week. You're going to focus on doing your homework, doing your schoolwork, and maybe some outside activity, but right. No games during the week. So that's an alarming statistic, especially when you see what's happening with boys today. Girls are far surpassing boys today in school, and even in general life, you're seeing that, and that's a great thing. I would love to see and support the women and the females doing some great things, but that's a statistic that says that we really need to invest in the boys and making sure that they are focused on reading instead of moving towards more video games.
Absolutely.
So, okay.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. What's up?
So the next secret is going to be again related to homework. Okay. And I talk about how homework must be, when it's done at home, in public view.
Oh.
All right. So now, if you have this scenario, the child says, "Hey, I'm going to go do homework in my room with my computer and my Xbox and my PlayStation."
Right.
I can tell you right now, most likely there's a lot of distraction going on in that room.
Yeah, I don't know too much about that.
And so you want to have, until trust is built, you want to have homework being done where the parent can supervise what's going on. Okay. And once trust is established, once the child is getting A's and B's on a consistent basis, they're doing great and going to Harvard, that's a different story.
I love how you threw the Harvard in there.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Now, one of the things we ask our parents to consider at the tutoring centers, we said, listen, probably going to be a bad idea as far as the video games, when we come back to earlier,
right.
Probably a bad idea to take everything away. It doesn't really work very well. Okay. Really what we ask our parents to do is say, okay, if the kids want to be able to do homework and these games in the privacy of their bedrooms, okay, if the kids want to do these games,
sure,
they got to earn their way to do that. Okay. And so if you make them earn that time, or make them earn the right to bring the games into their room, that's a good suggestion that's working for a lot of our parents.
Okay. Good stuff. I like that.
And so I think the next one is really going to be a really big problem that we see. And now, thank goodness, the schools are starting to adjust to this more, and it's the use of a planner.
Gotcha.
Okay. And so the tip number 5 is for our parents is to require the child to use a planner, whether they are in elementary school, middle school, or high school. It does not matter.
Okay.
And so if usually in the elementary school, we want them to use a written planner. Okay. And then if they get into the middle and high school realms, when they get there, you could have them do the planner on their iPhone, perhaps. Okay. Right. We can actually use screen time to our advantage in this case here.
We are in a technological advanced stage. Everything is on your mobile devices. I'm just even checking to see how we're streaming on the mobile device right now, how we're coming through. So let me just kind of see if there's any questions at this moment. And just want to let you know, if you're tuning in, again, we're here with Dr. Ancona from the Tutoring Center here in Oviedo, and we're learning about the 7 secrets to helping your child improve their overall test scores, their school grades, and obviously ending homework frustration. So you're on tip number 5.
Tip number 5.
So let's dig into it.
So now, so not only do we need to provide the planner and require the use of the planner, but then we have to give more specific parameters to the child about how often they need to check the planner.
Right.
What's happening is with some of our high school kids, they have this planner and then they don't use the planner. And so we say, no, you have the planner, and 5 times a day. That's a good rule. 5 times a day, it should be checked and updated by the student. The first time, it should be before they leave home. Right. So that the homework is not forgotten at home. They check the planner and bring the homework with them to school. The second and third check should be somewhere during the school day. Now, keep in mind, these 5 checks are minimum.
Okay.
Second, third check should be during the school day. Check number 4 in the planner by the student should be before they leave school. Okay, so they can make sure they have all their material for their homework. And then check 5 is at night when they're doing homework. Okay. Make sure that they're completing everything and they've set up for the next day. You need to start that at a young age. And right now, even my son being kindergarten, first grade, he already has a planner. And so following up and being consistent with the use of a planner and then moving on to an iPhone. Sometimes I get kids who question me about my planner, and I use it completely on my phone. And they question me, and I say, I'll tell you what, I'll show you my planner. And I show them my iPhone planner, and they're quite impressed.
Okay. Well, like I said, it's use of technology. If you use it right, it can be effective.
Absolutely.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff.
The next secret is really in regards to 2 areas that we see a lot of problems in here at the center. We see predominantly problems in reading comprehension. And then the other area we see problems in is in math, whether it's going to be the algebras or geometries in the upper grades or even algebra 2, or in basic elementary school math. So if we're going to focus in on a moment here for this secret, it's going to be the math secret part 1. And that is we must require the child to memorize the times tables. By far, in the elementary school years, not memorizing the times tables is the biggest problem and biggest thing we see here at the Tutoring Center.
Sure.
Now, we certainly can help with this at the center, but there are lots of apps out there. There are lots of games. Here we go. We can use screen time again. There's lots of games that we can use. But really, this is really a non-negotiable subject in our view as a center. And really, that needs to start at the end of 2nd grade, the summer going into 3rd grade is a great time to get that down, the memorization of the times tables. By far, that is the biggest problem in elementary school as far as math is concerned.
Okay.
The other tip related to this is now going to be on reading.
And that's number 7.
We're still on number 6, actually. Yeah.
6. Okay.
These are specific academic issues that I wanted to focus in on. Part 6, part 1, math. Secret 6, part 2, reading. We want to encourage the love of reading immediately, as young as you can go. If they're in kindergarten through 2nd grade, we as parents, we have to enforce a 30-minute per day reading time.
I see.
In materials that the child loves, not what we pick out necessarily, but what they love to read about. And doing that is a wonderful thing. Now, what we don't want to do, and a lot of our parents do this sometimes when they walk into the center, they say, you know what, I'm going to do reading time at 7:30 at night right before bedtime. And so when you talk to the reading gurus and the reading specialists, reading takes a lot of alertness. And doing it right before bedtime, probably not a good idea. You're not getting the bang for your buck for all the education and tutoring and things like that.
Okay.
So that reading should be done, really, we tell our parents, between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. That 30 minutes should be done. It can be 15 minutes in the morning or 15 minutes in the evening. We want to foster the love of reading so that the child does the reading on their own.
I understand. That makes sense. That makes sense. But before we get into number 7,
Sure.
looks like we may have lost some video. So we want to just check and see, if we can get back our video. The audio is coming through perfectly, guys. You can hear us. Go ahead and leave us some questions on the chat here, on the comment section right below the video, or maybe you see my face with the YouTube sign. We're going to check to see how the video actually is coming through. But we're here with Dr. Ancona, and we're learning about the 7 secrets to helping improve our child's school grades and also ending homework frustration. So far, he's given us 6 tips, which have been absolutely phenomenal tips. I've learned a lot just being here. And if you guys can leave a comment or ask a question, let us know that you're getting some great value. I understand we've had some lightning and thunder friends here with us today, so it may be affecting our video coming out. So just give us a second, guys. Let's try to figure out what's happening here with the video so we can tune back in and you guys can see us. We'd love to have that personal interaction with you. All right, so let's see here. See if we can get our video back. All right, so audio is fine. We're coming through. All right, so we know we have 4 people viewing so far. All right, so I tell you what, Doc, let's just continue. We're getting some audio, and unfortunately, we're not getting the video coming through, but we are getting some audio. So let's just continue with the tips. People can hear us. And again, if you have any questions, certainly leave the comments below, and we can answer those questions for you. So we're at tip number 7, Doc, and so far you've given us some great value. All right, so why don't you tell us about the 7th strategy here in this overall process?
This is one that a lot of our parents miss.
Okay.
And that is tip number 7: utilize the summer for academics.
Academics, gotcha.
Okay, so basically, here's what happens: the kids are sitting around during the summer, pizza, relaxing, sleeping, Xbox. There's a place for that, right?
Yeah, right.
There's a place for that.
Okay.
But we have whole host of kids who are doing no academics at all during the summer. So now 3 months goes by. So the studies are showing kids basically have a 2 to 3 month regression in their academics every summer. The kids who don't get academics over the summer.
I see.
Now, the children come into August now. What are our teachers doing? Everyone's reviewing. Everyone spends August and early September, the teachers do, reviewing because everyone forgot everything.
Sure.
Okay, so essentially, let's just do an example. Okay? Let's just say you have a fifth grader. He's going into 5th grade, and he's in 4th grade in June, and he's getting ready to go into 5th grade in August, right? So now he finishes 4th grade, and let's just for fun say that he's right at grade level in June. So that should put him at what we call a 5.0, right? 5th grade, 0 month. He's ready to start 5th grade.
Okay.
That's what it looks like in June. When you retest him in August, he becomes a 4.7. He regresses back 3 months, or she, okay? So that's why the teachers are always reviewing in August. Now, here at the tutoring center, we don't do that. What we tell our parents is the summer is absolutely critical for getting ahead for the next school year and building confidence for the next school year.
Okay.
So now let's go back to the same scenario. You have a 5th grader who's a 5.0 in June. By August with us or with academic tutoring, they should be 5.2, 5.3, 5.4. So now they walk in and they know a lot of the information that the teacher is presenting in August.
Okay.
But it builds upon the idea of kid confidence. That's the key part. So as an example, my own son, he was going into 5th grade this year. He finished 4th grade. When he came to the tutoring center in June, I said, okay, here's our goal. We want you to be able to finish our 5th grade materials.
I see.
By the time the end of the summer comes, that means all of 5th grade, you will have completed 95% of the math by the time August comes around. He worked really hard, and he has done that. He's completed that. And so he is, we just started the school year with our school, and he is flying through the material. He's very confident, and that's what half the battle is with academics. It's the confidence piece.
I see. That's great. That's great. Confidence equals success.
Absolutely.
And one of the things I love about what you're doing here at the center is that you are instilling that confidence and that personal self-worth in the students.
Right.
To me, that's everything. One of the things I say is the legacy is not about what you leave to someone, but what you leave in them. And so to me, you're leaving a great legacy with the kids and even for the parents that you're serving in this community. So, we've gone through the 7 tips, and I know, like I said, we've lost some video. You guys can still hear us. Be sure to ask us any questions you may have for Dr. Ancona. Leave your questions below in the comment section, and so we will be able to answer those live for you. What is typical questions that parents have? Give me one question that you get common, and maybe we can address that.
Sure. One of the questions we hear a lot is, why is third grade such an issue in the state of Florida?
Sure.
Third grade. We got a lot of that. And the lead up to third grade is first and second, of course, but third grade particularly is a really important year in Florida.
Right.
And that is what we call the FSA test is given to third graders, and they got to pass it.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line, they have to pass it, and that's both in reading and in math. And so third grade and the lead up to third grade is really critical.
Sure.
And then when they get into fourth grade, we start really focusing on more on writing. But in third grade, math and the reading comprehension are absolutely critical. So if you have a parent that is going at the end of the second grade is having a child with some reading comprehension issues, guarantee you by the time third grade comes around, the teacher's going to be letting the parents know right away.
Mm-hmm.
And so summer tutoring for a second grader going into third grade, absolutely critical to avoid problems like that.
I see. Interesting. Any additional questions that one way you can think of off the top of your head?
You know what? I think sometimes there's confusion as to what, like on our high school level, there's some confusion about what do I need to graduate?
Mm-hmm.
What's the classes that we need? And we as parents, we need to be on that. And it's really easy to do that. You just go to the high school website and you click on guidance, and it shows you all the parameters and when your student is slated to graduate and what they need to pass.
I see.
And at the same time, we see parents, one of the questions I get is, well, how do I know how they're doing in homework?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we have electronic access as parents,
mm-hmm.
and we want to hold our kids accountable to that.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. And so that's a great way to check on our kids and proactively avoid problems. We've had instances here at the center where a parent was saying, well, I think my kid's doing all of his homework. And then we come to find out when we look electronically, the child has not been doing homework. And so somebody needs to hold that child accountable at the end of the day.
Okay. So do you work with the parents as well, provide any sort of guidance with the parents, to help with the efforts with their child?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We work heavily with guiding the parents as best we can.
Okay.
But when they're in the high school and middle school area, we really need the students to buy in as well.
Sure.
So we work with them, and we really say to them, we need their help.
Right.
And otherwise it will not work. And so if they have buy-in, we're all in.
Okay. Beautiful. Well, Doc, I'm confident based on the information you shared that, many of the listeners got some great value. Thank you so much for, providing us with these great tips. How can parents get in contact with you? I mean, if they wanted to reach out to you, they still have additional questions. How can they get in contact with you?
Well, we're here in Oviedo. Our phone number is 407-545-4725. They can give us a call. What we like to start off with is our free diagnostic assessment. It is an outstanding test that looks at reading comprehension and math, as well as algebra for our middle and high school students.
Okay.
And with that is provided free to the parent, and we believe that all parents should have that information. And so that's the best way to contact us. Again, 407-545-4725 is our number here. We are in Oviedo at the corner of 417 and Aloma Avenue. And you can just stop in if you'd like and meet us. We would be happy to see you.
Okay, beautiful. And to guys, if you can claim that free diagnostic assessment, there's a button below the video, or at least the audio on here in the page, where you can just click on it. It'll take you over to the website, and you can go ahead and claim that free diagnostic. Just fill out the form on the website, and one of your team members, Doc, would give them a call. Is that how it works?
Yeah, they can fill that out. We'll be happy to reach out to them. There's also our contest as well for the free month of tutoring, so you definitely want to go ahead and click on that as well and utilize that as best you can.
Yeah, that's true. So again, thank you so much for all your great information. We'll have to do a part 2.
Okay.
We'll have to do a part 2 because we certainly want to give more people an opportunity to hear your wisdom. Because a lot of the information you shared tonight, really affected me in a positive way. And I can see clearly how I can take some of those strategies and start to impart that to my boys. I have a 17-year-old and a 12-year-old, and they definitely, need some of the wisdom and knowledge that you shared. So thank you so much for all that you do, not only for parents, but for the community, because you're really impacting the future of our country by helping these kids, first build self-worth, gain confidence, and go into the world as leaders and make the changes that we want to see and legacy we want to see for the future. Isn't that true?
Absolutely.
So again, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Again, if you have any questions, I'm going to close it off in a minute here. If you have any questions, feel free to leave any comments below. But we thank you so much for tuning in to this presentation here today with Dr. Ancona. And like I said, we'll probably do a version 2 of this presentation. So again, feel free to come back to this landing page or the website, wherever you're viewing the presentation, ask comments, request if you'd like to see the presentation again. We'd love to be here to serve you. And again, click on the button below. It's a yellow button, the free diagnostic and assessment. Will take you over to the website, and you can go ahead and fill out the form, and Dr. Ancona's team will be connecting with you to make sure that you can answer all your questions. Anyway, guys, you be safe. Have a blessed day, and we'll talk soon.